Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Estancia Lapacho here in Paraguay, and we are just racing over to the little bud over here with the seed drill as it has run out of seed yet again. We will top it up. I'll chuck in, I was wondering whether to chuck in all of this. I'm not actually sure. I think we'll put in, I'm sort of looking at how much we got to do. We'll put in maybe 1,000, 1,500, something like that. And then we will stop, just for a minute, and we'll let it carry on. So I want to run that down to about 3,000. There we go, that'll do. Right, good enough. And then we'll get that one started. It's got a couple strips up and down the main field to do, and then we've got a little bit around the edge, and then the barley is all planted. The corn is busy being planted as well. That's coming along quite nicely up there, actually. The only trouble is, the cultivator is narrower than the seed drill, so the seed drill is very, very slowly catching up with the cultivator. Not tremendously so, and the cultivator's about to finish up that field, and then it's going to want to move on to the next field, which means that we got to hurry up and get that next field done. So if I just start that one going a minute, like that, I've left the cover open. That's fine. It'll be fine. It doesn't matter. And then we can go through here to the next machine, which is up here. My weekly question for this week is, do you want me to plant root crops up here? It'll probably be sugar beet. I've been thinking about this. It'll probably be sugar beet, although I'm not sure at the moment. I think sugar beet does actually need a colder climate, in which case we'll do potatoes. But we'll do something. We will do a root crop. And we, whether we do it here or we do it up there is the question for this week. Do you want me to do root crops up there, or do you want me to do them down here on the plateau? I'm only going to do one cropping on the plateau if we do it down. I knew he was going to turn around early. I knew it. Traitor. Right, so we've got that little strip to do down there as well. But yeah, do you want me to do the crops down here? Let me just switch this back over to what it should be. Not euros, dollars. There we go. Do you want me to do some root crops up here on the plateau? Yes or no? It's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Now, let me just switch that one off there. And this one is actually, I'll tell you what, we'll stop this one now. Just like that, with its 9 litres left to go. We'll just trot over here to the seed tender. And if we load this one up. I had a couple of people asking, where did I get this seed tender from? So for those of you that don't know, this one is part of the Horsch DLC. And it's available for free on ModHub. It's got quite a lot of different bits of kit in it, if you're interested, and including the Horsch tender, not the truck that goes with it. The Horsch tender will fit onto any truck that doesn't have a thing over the roof of the cab. So it's got to be a square roof cab like that. It'll fit onto any one of those. And there's a whole load of other machinery and stuff as well with the Horsch DLC. It's quite a big DLC, and it's quite good. There's also the Horsch map as well, the aggravation map. But yeah, it's all available on ModHub, and it's all free. That is actually a free DLC, as opposed to some of the other ones which you do actually have to pay for. Now, I'm going to leave that one there for a minute, and I'm going to go... Although, I tell you what, we do have another job that we want to start, and we want to start it soon. I'm thinking that we could start that today, and then we'll come back up here and we'll carry on just finishing off the whole stump grinding malarkey. This other job... Oh, actually, how much... Before I start this, before I go rushing off to start a new job, there's one thing I need to check. I need to go back to... Not to you, because that one's almost done. I need to get that one going with... cultivating and ploughing on the new field. So I need to take this one, and cultivating and ploughing is going to be done starting down at this bottom end, and we're going to be working sideways across the map. So I don't think any of those trees are going to be in the way. I'm hoping they're not. I mean, maybe I won't go sideways, maybe I'll move up and down. But no, what I'm actually racing over here to see is if there's any stumps over here. Yes, there is. There's quite a few. We need to get rid of those stumps first, and then once we've gotten rid of those, there should be plenty of space for the tractor to get started on this big field here, and then we can sort of finish the other stumps in a little bit. So we need to get these here done first. So we'll come down to there, and I need to allow create fields. I need to start it up and lower it down into the ground like that. There we go. And then we can get started. So we can grind out all of these stumps here. And then once they're out of the way, there's one done. Once these are all out of the way, then we're good to go and start on the next bit. I wanted to get started on the sugarcane harvesting. Sugarcane was something we did right back at the start, and I was wondering how we were going to do this. I've decided how I'd like to do the sugarcane harvest for the next time round, and it's going to involve getting rid of that trailer that we've got over there. So we might actually just sell that one direct rather than moving it around. I'm not quite sure at the moment. I haven't quite made my mind up. Is that going to break? Is it a break or grind off? Sometimes you get these little bits and they don't quite want to grind, do they? Look at that. There's a very odd shape to it. And it's those sorts of bits that can end up ruining your entire field. Yeah, that one's just going to keep producing wood chips if we go from there. So what we need to do is we need to just go over here, spin round and come at it from a different angle, and then it should clear. So usually what happens is you just got to approach it from a slightly different side, and then it will go. Although this one seems to be a bit more stubborn, and looks like it wants to stay. It's only a tiny little bit. If you could just like not... Oh, there we go. We got it. Nailed it. Right. I knew I could do it. I had absolutely every faith in myself. I never doubted for a moment that I would be able to get rid of that stump. And if I say absolutely nothing more about that, you may even believe me. Now, go to the next one. So yeah, if we can get rid of these few here, I did just say that we'd start the cultivator sort of moving up and down the field in this direction. But now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that there's less likely to be anything getting in its way if I have it going that way. Although that means it's then got to be driving onto the other fields, which I'd prefer it not to do. I do prefer it not to go out onto other fields and turn round on them, because it's just, yeah, it doesn't look right. Because it doesn't turn inside the range of their own fields, it kind of looks a little bit odd when it does that. So maybe we will stick with my original plan, moving up and down. And yes, I'm going to do the entire field. I'm not just going to do those sections in the middle, because if you've ploughed, you do need to cultivate afterwards. The moldboard ploughing that we've done, it tends to leave the soil in great big clods and stuff, and the row crop planter that we're using is not very good for planting in between that. We need to break it up into a finer tilth so that the crop can be better planted. So we do need to actually do it. And yes, I know that for gameplay purposes we don't actually need to do it, but we're going to do it anyway, just because, you know, it's a little bit more realistic. And I do try to do some realism in this game, at least a little bit. I know that I am busy currently running around here at very high speed and turning with this plough thing in the ground, which is probably not as realistic as some of you would like, but I think we can go past that bit because of all the work that we've done on this. Who's finished? He's finished. Right, we need to go to him. That one, actually, he's catching up very, very fast, so we're going to probably have the seed drill just sat for a little while. If you look at the speed he's catching up. We'll probably just leave the seed drill sat for a little bit to rest and recuperate. It's done a lot of work. It could do with a little bit of rest, just to catch up with things, and then it can carry on again once we've established a decent start on this field. So if I bring this one up over here, and we will start this one working here. Now the problem is it going to be able to go all the way down there and do the field properly? I'm not sure. That's why I'm now thinking that maybe I should go up and down. I can second guess myself about 30 times and end up doing what I originally was planning to do. I can also second guess myself 31 times and end up nowhere near where I started. You may have noticed this. Let's just watch this one down through and make sure it gets everything on the edge of the field, so it does at least look a little bit neat and tidy, and then we can continue on with grinding out the rest of those stumps. looking at the number of trees that are at the other end when it's wanting to turn, we're going to be left with quite a bit that's not done properly. So I figured we may as well come down here and just start it off going up and down this way. Now, if I do it like that, it should go all the way across. There we go. Because I'm not quite sure how far out it goes up at that end. So if I just start it there, it'll get all the way up to the other end, and then it'll tidy itself up a bit. And it'll be perfect. It'll be wonderful. We won't have any problems whatsoever. And we'll all live happily ever after. So let me just go back through here. The big bud has now finished that bit. If I just start this one up, and we'll send it back and see if we can get it to do the bit that it missed over here. There's quite a chunk that it missed over here. It's a double width. Right, bring that one around there. Right. Now, I want to back this one up a little bit. I'm not very good at backing with an articulated machine, as you can see, as I'm clearly demonstrating right now. So we're going to bring that one in about there, and we'll start. And hopefully that will be 2 passes. It'll be 1 pass here, and it'll go all the way up to where it came down, and then he'll turn around and he'll go the other way. I'm not quite sure why he's doing it again. Why are you stopping? You don't need to stop. There is no need for you to stop. I should not have to manually do this. You should do it all for me. This is your job. You are a great big tractor, and you should be able to go all the way up through there without any problems whatsoever. Apparently it can't, because it thinks that that telegraph pole is enough to want to stop it. But if I nurse it through and I take it off of hired help and I put it back onto hired help, each time it goes to slow down, maybe that is it. Well, it worked on the last one, so maybe it'll keep working on the rest of them. So if I stop there and then I go again, it's working. Ideal. So we can persuade them to go through. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just sort of sat next to them, and they're very, very nervous. They think this is wider than it actually is, and no, it's not. It's fine. And I'm also pointing out that if they want to continue on with the glorious privilege of being employed by Frithgar, then they need to get their act together and keep on going, keep on moving. It's missed pieces there. I wonder why that is. I'm guessing it's just how rough the ground is on that particular bit. We might have to come back through and see if we've got enough. I don't think we've actually got enough seed. I think we're going to have to get a little bit more seed from our seed tender right here. We'll worry about that in a minute. We want to get this one going because we need to just finish out the rest of the stumps. So we've got a little bit there to do. There's the cultivator. It's working quite nicely. It's doing a wonderful job. Very pleased with that cultivator. Once you put him going, he just keeps plugging away without any real hassle. He doesn't get upset, he doesn't get annoyed with you, just keeps chugging away without any problem. So we'll run over here and we grab this last one over here, like this. Hopefully it'll grab. There we go. He's sort of thinking about it. I don't know where... Oh, there. It's a bit sensitive, this one. Sometimes they are. Sometimes you sort of... There's a very, very tiny little bit that you can actually grab in order to do the actual cutting, and it doesn't always work either, like this one. This one is being very, very difficult. Oh, maybe that's got it. It's producing a large pile of wood chips, but because I got a plough stuck in the ground right in front of them, the wood chips are sort of making and then disappearing instantly. Is that done? It is! Ideal. Right. We'll bring that one up there. Helper R has completed their task. Who is that? Helper R is... Oh, that's the... that is the little bud. Cultivator is doing good over there. Right, we'll let that one go on. I think we've done everything over this side. The corn is done. Let's go and have a look at this cultivator a minute. It's doing well. I want to... Yeah, you are completely finished. Excellent. You're done. You're done. Everything... The only thing that is now working is his cultivator. And he is actually about to start going in on the main field there. So we do want to cultivate the whole field, like I said. And we also want to cultivate... Well, the little fields aren't actually ploughed. Everything, these two here aren't classed as ploughed. If we go over to growth like that, we've got some ploughed and then we've got some cultivated. And if we go soil composite... Oh, okay, it is already ploughed. So they've already got the ploughed status, but we've got to cultivate them so that the seed drill can go through them. The corn drill over there, if we don't do it, the corn drill is not going to be able to do anything on the fields. But there we go. It's moving in, and it's actually now working the fields themselves, and it's all becoming one field. This is what I wanted to see, was it all sort of just mashing up together to become just one field without any borders or anything in between it at all. And we have achieved it. We have finally got there. So let me go over to this one. I'm going to move this one out of the way. We've done the little bit that I wanted to do here. Take that off of create fields a second, just in case we make any horrible, horrible mistakes. We want to drive this one back over to that side. And then I'm thinking, well, the big bud needs to finish doing the barley, but we're going to need to put a little bit more barley into there. So we can go and do that very quickly. And then we can get started on the sugarcane harvest, because this field here is going to take a little while. So we can't go jumping forward in time or anything like that until this field is cultivated and planted. So we've got that still to do. And we've also got the... Have I done that field? I think I have. We've got this little patch up here, but we're not going to have to worry about this for a bit, so we can get going. We can start the sugarcane first, which means that I can go and do what I wanted to do with the sugarcane, which is get a different trailer. So we're going to go back over to there now. That one, yeah, you're going to stay there for a minute. You, we're going to take back down to the yard. I'm going to take this plough and I'm going to unhitch it. Then I need to get the sugarcane trailer that we got up in the top field. I am wondering if I should go and get another sugarcane trailer or if I shouldn't worry about it. I think we won't worry about it. Then we've also got to decide how we're going to do this, because if I'm busy planting on the big field up there, I'm going to need the seed tender on the truck. I could also use the truck down here with the sugarcane and the sugarcane trailers and all that, and sort of to keep everything running. So we're going to have bits of everything going here. I don't want to do what I did last time, which is tip any stuff on the ground. Tipping stuff on the ground is a big no-no, because it means you've got to pick it back up again, and I don't really want to do that. We do have the Roper DLC, but unfortunately, the actual machine that we would use in the Roper DLC, which is like the conveyor belt ones, that one is in miscellaneous in here. There we go, miscellaneous, that one there, the Norwa Row mouse. The mouse doesn't actually take sugarcane, which is a absolute nuisance, because it means that we can't throw the sugarcane in a great big heap on the ground and have the mouse come along and pick it all up again. So the only way that we'd be able to pick it up is using, I think we could use that one. Yes, we could use that one. I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to be using that one to pick it all up. So instead, what we will do is we're going to take this plough over here, and I'm still not decided what we're going to do over on this piece of grass over here. So I'm going to leave the plough out for a minute. Bring it over here. Now, I got that trailer there, which we could use for some sugarcane. But that trailer doesn't actually take much more than the... Actually, I don't think it takes any more. I think that one's 70,000 litres. Let me just look into... These ones here are 66,500. That one that we've got is 20,000. That one's 28,000. So it is 8,000. It is a significant difference. It's nearly half as much again as the orange ones, which would be really good. The tippers that we've got... Now, we've got that... one from Black Sheep, is it Black Sheep Modding? I can't remember now. It's not all the way up there. I've got so many trailers here. Oh, it's that one there. I was looking at the wrong colour. 70,000, so it's only a tiny bit more than the other one. So we're not going to worry about that one either. I want to bring this back. I know I said that we needed to feed the cows, and I intended to do that last episode, and we still haven't fed the cows, and I'm probably not going to do that this episode either. We've got cows that desperately need feeding. They are going to be running out of food soon. They haven't run out of food yet, though, so I'm not actually that worried about it just yet, because they still haven't run out of food. And until they actually run out of food, I'm still not going to worry about it too much. Let me go back into sugarcane a minute, and what do we got? I do have 2 of those. I thought I did. So we want to get... Am I going to want to get rid of those? I don't actually know at the moment. I definitely want to buy one of those. So we're going to buy that one a minute. We'll set up standard or wide. We'll go for wide tyres so that we can avoid compaction. And that is $42,400. Worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. And we get that one, and then we will run up the road with the Stara, and we will get that trailer and we will bring it back over here. You can actually chain more of these together like you can with the orange ones. So that they're no different other than that they are quite a bit wider. Now, the other thing that we should note is I'm pretty sure that the hitch on this is exactly the same as the one on the orange trailer, which means that our self-propelled sugarcane harvester is not going to be able to take it. And that is something that I don't like. I really don't like that you can't automate just using the standard game, the sugarcane harvesting. You cannot have this one running and towing the trailer along. You can put a small tipper trailer on the back, and it does do that, but it generally gets to the end of the row and then decides that it doesn't like it and it stops. So it's a bit of a nuisance anyway. But no, if I bring this one back, it's not actually going to be able to hitch it on. Because if it did hitch it on, then yeah, that would be wonderful. We could just use that one to do the sugarcane harvesting. But no, that hitch is actually the wrong hitch. Now I bring it back and put it in the right place. And I go back here. See? Nothing. Nothing. It's not interested. It doesn't want to know. So we cannot use the big self-propelled sugarcane harvester for this unless we manually drive our tractor up and down the field beside it, which at the moment I have no desire to do so. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this one and we're going to go into... No, we can't go into the shed because it's not in a shed. It's over here. It's a very high spout on this one. We're going to come over this side and we're going to take a look at that. There it is. There it is, the beautiful, wonderful sugarcane harvester. And we're going to be doing the exact same as we did on the last harvest, where it goes up across the field, and then when it comes back the other way, the tractor drives right inside the crop. And it's a little bit painful to witness, but unfortunately, it's the only way that we can do this and have it on the hired help. I could try and set up a course-play course, but I don't think it's worth it, and quite frankly, I think it would be a rather painful experience for all of you to witness, so we won't bother doing that either. We'll bring that one back round there to... Where's the hitch? Yep, there's the hitch. Bring that one onto there, and then you come all the way back here like this and hitch that one on. So that one will hitch on there absolutely perfectly without any problems. And then we can bring it up here and we can go and take it in towards the field. Now, what I'm going to do to start with, first need to unfold the... Not that one. I want to unfold that one. There we go. Unfold this one here. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to do 5 or 6 passes along the bottom end of this field so that we can take out... We've got enough room for turning around a little bit later on. So what we want to do first is sort of just create a headland on here. And then once we've created our headland, then we can start working on the next bit, which should be easy enough. But the idea is I'm going to just leave this one harvesting, and we will occasionally come along and be able to empty it out. I don't remember. This is the other bit that you are going to find a little bit painful to watch at times, is the way it's going to be turning on the field. But if you try to ignore that, I'm sure you'll be fine. Bring that one into there. I just want to back it up a little bit so it gets the other end, and then I'm just going to press H, and it's going to start it all up itself. There we go. It's... What are you doing? Why... What are you doing? I've never seen it do that before. Right, let's go back around. Maybe it's a little bit too high for it, or maybe I needed to start it myself, or I don't really know. Why would it do that? That seems a very, very peculiar thing for it to want to do. We'll bring it in, and maybe I need to just be a little bit closer to it. We'll start it up. Like that. And start going forward. Yeah, I think maybe I needed to be in a little bit tighter. I think I wasn't quite in tight enough to the crop for it to work properly. That might be it. Let me try pressing H. Hopefully this will work. Yes. I reckon that's what it was. I was just in just a fraction too tight for it to actually work properly. But it is now working properly. We're going all the way across. And we are slicing sugarcane. We've got a great big sugarcane trailer over there that is right into the sugarcane crop no matter where we go. So if we were doing this with crop destruction on, we would be demolishing the majority of our field using this trailer. You wouldn't be able to use that trailer and this sugarcane harvester. That would be more for the big sugarcane harvester down there, and then manually running along beside it, which doesn't work. There's no real way to automate it very well. It's not. I like to be able to automate things without using courseplay, because I tend to struggle with courseplay. We'll see, though. I might be able to do something. So I just want to see how it copes with turning on the end here. So long as it will be able to do the turn, I'm going to let it go. We're going to get at least a trailer full off the end of the field here. And then once we've done that, we can then start it working up and down. I might go and do up the same up the other end and do like another pass. I'm not quite sure yet. So that one's going to come in there, and now it's going to disappear inside the sugarcane, which is even less realistic than what it was before. And it's going to come through there. Right. It looks wonderful, doesn't it? Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we've got this realism thing down to a fine art. Absolutely as realistic as you will ever get. Okay, let's just leave that one to carry on for a little while, shall we? And say no more about it. Ooh. He's doing all right. He's got a reasonable chunk. I'm going to let this one do quite a bit more yet before we decide to do anything to stop it. I got 126 litres left in you. I've got quite a bit that I do actually need to still plant with this one. So let's go and do this, and then we can worry about the stump grinding after, or maybe even next week, before we finally finish that job. I will finish the job. I promise you I will finish that job. It's just finding the time, because, you know, we do have rather a lot of other jobs that we're trying to do all at the same time, and I don't want to bore you with just doing the stump grinding. We've only got a little chunk of stump grinding left to do up there, and then I think we will make sure that we've got somewhere for hay for the cows. We need to make sure that we've got that sorted out and dealt with. So I want to come over here. There's a few patches that it's missed while it's been driving along, because it's been moving up and down the field. So if we take it from this direction, maybe it will actually plant these bits. So let's just find out. We'll run that over there. You can see the way it's sort of sliding the seed drill around. It is actually getting the seed drill is moving around a little bit, as it was when it started on that bit, which sort of shows you just how uneven it is. So that's where we ploughed our new field. That part there was it never used to be part of the field. It's right on the edge of field 13 where the original road was coming through. So that would explain why it didn't actually work properly. Now there was a little tiny bit, there we go, there's a little tiny strip up the side of here that we missed, and I do actually want to get that. I want to make sure that we get all of our field. We're going to go right to the very edge of it. I mean, I suppose, really, in real life, if you were to have a field that was like this, you would cut a dead straight line all the way down, and the little tiny strip that is about 5 coulters width there, you probably wouldn't worry about it. That's something that you would just leave to grow with whatever you're going to grow there. You know, weeds, nothing set aside, whatever you want to call it. You would just ignore that little bit. You wouldn't worry about it. And that bit's all done there. Don't have any more here that needs to be planted. So our next, you know, it would help if I lifted it up out of the ground. Our next bit, I just want to go up here and grab a little bit more seed, because we've got a few bits over that side to do, and then we are actually finished. It's actually completely finished and done. So I'll bring this one over here, and then we can back up that way. We're on 2% barley, which is not going to be enough to finish this field. I'll bring that one back a little bit. I'm only going to put in a little bit. I don't want to put in too much in here. 750, 800 litres. That's plenty. Can't see that we're going to need any more than that. It's just that there is a strip down the side of the field over here. So, I mean, probably 500 litres would have been more than enough. We bring that one into there. Lower it down and start. There we go. And we can get this little bit down through here. So there's the odd little patch there where it was uneven and it missed it. Although this seed drill, you look at the way that it curves, it does surprise me that it's missed these little patches because of the way that it curves around. I would have thought that it would have gotten anything no matter how uneven the ground. And I know on the very edge over this side, those triangle bits, that's nothing to do with whether the seed drill is curved or otherwise. That's just where the head help stops, turns around and then goes back in again, because it sort of ignores the little bits on the corners. And I'm really hoping, now that we're starting to see some little teasers of what FS17 is going to look like, I'm really hoping that we're going to get a vastly improved hired help system. I really do. It's going to be absolutely wickedly cool if we do. But just looking at the pictures that we've seen so far, it wouldn't surprise me if they were able to produce something far superior with the hired help to what we've had so far. We've had some in-game photos, but we haven't had a lot. I think the hype is really going to begin in another couple of months' time. We're not going to get a lot at the moment. This is going to drip feed the occasional teaser bit, and then we're going to get some serious hype in another month or two's time. But, well, it's a month or two. I reckon June and July is where it's going to start, and then especially July, and when July, August and September was 3 months building up to it, and then it will be end of October that it comes out. So if it does sort of follow that pattern, end of October, we'll have 3 to 3.5 months of good solid hype before it comes out, and then it'll be on us. Kaboom! Right, 660. So I didn't even need 500 liters. I've used about 250 liters to just finish that little bit of seed. There's a few odd little bits on this end. That's why I'm just running down here. There wasn't much. There's a little patch there just on our left-hand side, and thought there was the occasional bit here, a bit there, but not much. It's only where it sort of just came out of the ground a little bit unevenly. It's probably not even worth bothering with most of this. I just grabbed this just a little bit there, just coming up with the seed drill now. Right, you can see actually on the side of the, you can see there the pattern on the field where the bits were missed. Which changes the pattern. It's not very much being changed, but there's a little tiny bit right there that was changed. The rest of it is fine. So we can leave the rest of it, and there was a little tiny bit over here, which again is probably not worth bothering with, but as we're over here, and as we seem to be doing this now, we may as well complete the whole lot. Do absolutely everything, and then we're done. We can safely say that we have planted the barley properly. So we come over to there, and then I'll lower it and start it up. There we go. So there's a little bit there, and then there's that patch right there that I want to get. And we're done. We are actually fully done. Has it got it? Yes. Nailed it. Right. Now we're talking. So we need to fold up now. And to do that, we actually want to be pushing it forward, I think. Yeah. We want to drive forward as we start to fold it, because that's not going to put excessive pressure. If the ram is like pushing the entire seed drill backwards, I think that's putting excessive pressure on it. Going to really struggle to do that. So there we go. There is our new seed drill. We have finished doing the seeding for this season. And our new tractor that's pulling it. We're going to have to do something else with this tractor. Not quite sure what we'll do, but we definitely want to do something else. I suppose actually we're going to be doing a bit more ploughing over here, and we've got ploughing to do up on the plateau. Maybe we should find something to use on this one. Now, this one doesn't have 3-point linkage, but there is the Gregoire-Besson plough that was originally released with this one, and that had a 3-point lifter to go with it. Now, I don't think this seed drill is going to fit in that shed. It's just not going to happen, is it? So we need to find somewhere else to park this bad boy up. And that might be easier said than done. Where are we going to stick this thing? I think it's going to have to be an outside job where we put the tarpaulin over the top of it. Because everybody has machines like that. They just don't go in the shed. You stick them out somewhere and you drape a tarp over the top of it, and then everything is fine. Tickety-boo and hunky-dory and wonderful. Where are we going to put this one? I'm not really sure. I suppose we could put it over here, but I mean, I don't like the idea of having it in such plain view of the house, but I can't really think of anywhere else to put it. That does seem to be the best spot for it at the moment, so that's where it's going to go for a minute. We can always move it later. There we go. Dump that one down there. And then we can come back up round. That tractor with the sugarcane has now filled to the brim. He's done quite a bit, actually. I'm impressed with the amount that it's done. But the seed tender is currently being used, so do we use this tractor to pull one of those trailers around, or do we use something else? Because I'm looking in here. Now, we've got, under plows, you've got the trailed lifter right there, and that will pick up a 3-point linkage. And then you've got the Gregoire-Besson there as a 10.5 meter plow. bit too big, and because of the length of it, it's not going to plow properly. But a lot of people are asking me if I can use the Jimper plow. 5.7 meters on the biggest one. This Lemkin is 4.9, so it's a little bit narrower than the biggest Jimper plow. We could get the biggest Jimper, and we could get the trailed lifter, and we could put those together on this little bud. I think that would actually be a good combination, and we could use that to do a little bit of plowing. We could plow up on the plateau up there, because having a ripper like that would actually sort of, it would fit the narrative of the map. It would, you know, because that's field that's never been planted or anything up there, so we're having to rip into completely fresh ground up there, stuff that has never ever been done. So it's going to be riddled with thick solid tree roots. So having a massive ripper like the Jimper plow rather than just a regular moldboard plow would actually make a lot of sense. That would seem to be a much better idea. Let's just see if we can do this a minute. It's going to be fairly slow going, but my idea is if I can put that one on there like that, I can get the two trailers in tandem, and then I don't have to worry about my truck for a minute. That one can keep the seed tender on it, and we can have the truck running instead. So I can bring this one through here, we'll get those two hitched on, and then we'll go up to the sugarcane, and we can get the first bit to the sugarcane unloaded. We're not going to have time to do the stump grinding today, just to finish that field off. So we'll be able to do that at the beginning of next week. My question for this week is, after we have removed those trees up there on this end of the plateau and we've ploughed it up, do you want me to do the first cropping of root crops up there? It's extremely uneven ground. It's going to be extremely difficult to do. That is going to be a very, very hard and possibly tedious task to get it harvested. Planting is not going to be so difficult. Planting won't be a problem because we've got small machines we can use. But getting it harvested, that is going to be the real challenge. It's going to be quite tricky to do. So do you want me to have a go at that? Yes or no? Or, you know, do you want me to have a go at it up there, or would you prefer me to use the small regular field? So yes, you do want me to plant up on the plateau, or no, you don't. You think it's a terrible idea. It's going to take too long. It's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Now, if I can get this right, I can bring my massive, great big trailers right in tight against it. The problem with this is it's very difficult to get them lined up, especially as I got so many turns and bends in everything. No, no, no! Oh! Don't do. Seriously? Stop what you're doing. I'm not here to do stuff like that. That's not what we're here for. Now, if I drive forward a little bit. No, I'm turning it completely the wrong way. I need to turn it that way so that it just bends the back trailer around a little bit. There we go. That might actually work. Then I can go like that. I can lift you up. Are you going to be close enough? This is where I got to be careful. Oh, is it going on the ground under the trailer, or is it going into the trailer? It's going into the trailer. Nailed it. Ideal. Okay, you do have to be careful, because if you're slightly out of range, it will tip onto the floor under the trailer, and there's nothing you can do about it. You've just got a great dirty great heap underneath the trailer, which is not what you wanted. So we'll put that one there, and then we can lower that back down. So then I can bring this tractor back again and get it roughly lined up to where it was. I'm hoping that if I just press H, he'll be away doing what he's supposed to do. Yes. Ideal. Yep, we got it. Nailed it. Now I will go and take this one, and we can move it out of the way, because I don't want to leave it right there. That is going to be a little bit too tight to it. I'm just going to move it over here so that he's just a little bit out of the way. Like that. It's soon going to be time to actually... Although, it's a nice long run on there. I'm starting to... Yeah, although, yeah, see where it goes out and it goes right round into the other field? That's the bit that I don't like. Let's just stop that one there for a minute. We got 28,000 litres of sugarcane already, which I think is a pretty good start. I think we can be proud of that. That's not something to be ashamed of in the slightest. So if you enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. Just going through to check on our cultivator. There he is. He's done a wonderful job. We'll soon start the seeding. We'll start the seeding next week, and then it can start sort of slowly making its way along the field and catching up. It shouldn't take all that long to catch up properly now. But anyway, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.